Today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating idea that tackles a huge problem. How do we connect people who are in a crisis with the help they desperately need? It's a solution we're calling the digital bridge.
I want you to just picture it for a second. You're in a tough spot. Maybe you just lost your job, or you're facing eviction. You're stressed. Your mind is just racing. And the very system that's supposed to be your lifeline, it feels like this tangled mess of bureaucracy. It's an awful feeling, and it's way, way too common.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. The intention is good. The help is out there. But actually getting to it can feel like trying to solve a puzzle in the dark. That friction, that's the real wall.
But what if the answer was already in your pocket? Seriously, what if your phone could become a personal advocate, a guide that just cuts right through all that red tape? That's the big question we're digging into.
So let's unpack that paradox a little bit more. Why are these systems so incredibly hard to deal with, especially when you need them the most? Well, it turns out there's a hidden cost. And that cost has a name. Researchers call it a cognitive tax. See, when you're under the massive stress of a crisis, what some call a scarcity mindset, your brain's ability to handle complex stuff actually goes down. And that is the exact moment the system demands the most from you. It's a terrible mismatch.
I mean, just look at what the current process asks of you. You get a 20-page notice that you can't understand. You have to hunt down documents, track all these different deadlines, all while trying to use websites that don't even work on your phone. It's like you're expected to be a lawyer and a project manager, all while your world is falling apart.
Okay, so that's the problem, and it's a big one. But this is exactly where a new approach comes in. The AI Bridge Foundation is working on a solution that completely rethinks how we connect people to the aid they need. And let me be really clear here. This is not just some idea on a whiteboard. This is a real tool that the AI Bridge Foundation is building right now. It's called the Personal Advocate Assistant, and the whole idea is for it to act like a smart, friendly translator that sits between you and all that confusing bureaucracy. It's built on a few really simple but powerful principles. First, it's designed for the phone you're already using. Second, its main job is to lower that cognitive tax we were talking about. Third, it turns confusing government speak into simple, clear actions. And finally, it acts as a kind of digital shield, protecting you from the worst of the bureaucratic hassle.
So that all sounds great in theory, right? But what does it actually do? What does it feel like to have this advocate right there in your pocket?
Okay, this is where it gets really powerful. Look at the difference here. That terrifying 20-page legal notice, it becomes a simple 3-sentence text. Here's what this means, and here's what you need to do by Friday. An eviction notice that would cause anyone to panic becomes a clear, calm alert with the exact next steps. It's about giving back a sense of control.
And the whole thing works because it meets people where they already are, on their phones. We have to get past this myth that people in need don't have technology. For millions, a smartphone is their primary, sometimes their only computer. It's their lifeline. So designing for mobile isn't just a nice-to-have, it's the only way to do it.
Okay, so it can translate confusing documents. That's a game changer. But what about the really immediate, urgent stuff? Where can I find a meal tonight? This is where it transforms a desperate, frustrating research project into a direct path. Using your phone's location, the assistant doesn't just give you a list of food pantries. It tells you this one is a 10-minute walk from you, it's open right now, and they have meals available. That's what just-in-time intelligence really means. It's help when and where you need it.
And this is our really critical point. This tech doesn't replace the amazing humans doing this work. It supercharges them. Think of it as a force multiplier. By handling all the repetitive paperwork, it frees up social workers to do what they do best. The complex, empathetic, human-to-human support that no AI can ever replace.
But the vision here goes way beyond just getting through the next crisis. It's about building a real, sustainable path from just surviving to actually being stable. The big goal is to help people avoid something called the cliff effect. That's when you get a small raise at work, which is great, but it pushes you just over an income limit and you lose all your benefits at once, pushing you right back into crisis. This assistant is designed to provide that continuous support to help navigate those transitions.
And you can actually see that journey here. The very same tool that helps you find a shelter on day one is still with you a month later, helping you build a resume. 3 months later, it's helping you find and apply for jobs. And 6 months later, it's helping you enroll in a training program. It's one continuous partner on the path to upward mobility.
Now, this kind of tool is part of a bigger movement, a new category of software called advocacy tech. And the philosophy is incredibly simple, but also really profound. Build technology for the person who actually uses it, not just to make things easier for the institution. It's about putting human dignity at the absolute center of the design.
Which kind of leaves us with this one last big question to think about. In a world where tech so often feels like it's adding more complexity and more stress to our lives, what if its greatest, most noble purpose is actually the opposite? What if technology's highest calling is to restore our agency, our time, and our dignity, especially when we need it most?